Who's here? Who we got in here? We're about to do some work. Still pretty proud of that. Got more of this coming, but I want to get my workstation cleaned up better, prepared to do some more of that type of stuff. What's up, Ed? Hello, Kevin C. You've joined me here in my knife making shop. That's what I do here. I make custom handmade fixed blade knives. So I've got this one here scaled up, but I'm gonna remove all this excess and shape the scales now. You know what? I'm gonna switch jigs. I don't know why I put it on there. I guess I'd have it. Put it on the horizontal jig. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if it's gonna work. Try to do a little different thing. I just realized the switch to this, I'm still going to need the other, attachment. But I'll use this one till I can't. And already can't. My bad, guys. It's been a few days. It'll take me a little bit to get back in the swing of things. take that off so I don't hurt myself. Alright, so got a lot of it done. I have to cut the finger choil in. I've got to do some cleaning up, man. I just got shit everywhere. Fire hose. Huh. Let's see if we can find an air hose. There's not one over here. Oh, there it is. See if it'll reach over there. Pretty sure it will. I can already tell we've got some newer people in here just by the numbers. In case you're wondering what we're doing, y'all gonna get bored of hearing this, but yeah, I make custom fixed blade knives. That's what we're working on. That air's not turned on. Been down for about a week. So I've been in the shop a little bit. I don't know if you guys will be able to see what I'm doing there. We got her all shaped out. That's weird, I haven't drilled that pinhole. I guess we can go do that right quick. What's up, Kyle? I ain't heard from you today. For those of you who I haven't spoken to in the past few days, wondering how I'm feeling great. I just hope I can maintain this feeling. I feel pretty damn good. Of course, the drill's unplugged. There we go. It's not ready to do like the finish sanding on yet. Still got to get pins in it. So I don't think I have any purple pins. Let me go look. I might, I'm not sure. but it's translucent purple. And I like it, but guys, without the light shining on it, as you can see, it just looks dark purple. Which is not a problem. I don't mind just a dark purple pen. But when light hits that, it actually lights up. Like it's translucent. I think I want something a little lighter colored though. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it'd have more pop if that was a little lighter. This knife does have a lighter purple liner. I don't know if y'all can see it right now until it's finished, but let me wet that, see if it shows up any better. I mean, it's not finished sanded yet. I may do a light purple pen in this. Actually, I might just do a glow in the dark purple pen. That sounds like a plan. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about a glow in the dark purple pen on that knife right there? This is a slightly updated fret. As you can see, it has a sharpening tool, has a lanyard hole. Not all of them do, but going forward they all will. So yeah, let's here's another fret here I got to get finished up. Y'all seen this before, but yeah. And I've got a couple more here that I've got to get done, but I got new grinding belts, so I'm excited about that. Let me get this taped up so I can force it. Actually, I don't want to use that tape. That tape's just not. That's for like use on already painted drywall. It's not very strong. The epoxy has leaked through it or leaked around it. It's almost like Post-it note type adhesive, but it's made for like, you know, touching up, so you can tape over already painted drywall. We're just going to tape this side up so that the epoxy can't leak all the way through. We'll pour right into these holes. We'll go from there. So let me grab my glow in the dark mica, you know, everything I need to do this. If I even have it all. Box right here. This is all glow in the dark pigment. Only issue is I don't have my, well, I don't need my measuring. I've got my scales here. Yeah, that'd be fine. I'm a little bit scatterbrained today, guys. I've just, you know, I had that little trip to the hospital and just kind of been out of the swing of things for a few days. So. Trying to figure everything out. Well, these are different. There's purple right there. I'm not sure how much of it to use, but even if I was sure, let's face it, I wouldn't measure that shit. We're just gonna do it. That's how I do everything. See if I can find a fresh Dixie cup. I don't see any. Guess they took all the beer pong cups home. The only problem is this has got dried epoxy in it, but I'm afraid it's not going to let me stir it very well. So let me take a minute to just see if I can find a vessel to mix that in. Yeah, this is the. I apologize, they're dirty from laying here, but they're not finished up yet anyway. But that's the fret, Aiden. On me, it's a little 3.5 finger. You see, my pinky hangs off a little. And prior, we didn't have a lanyard hole, but I've upgraded that, and I've started doing a lanyard hole on the newer ones. But you know, the fact that you've got this thumb choil back here and a finger choil up front, it locks in really good, man. And that's just a 1,000th thick piece of magnet cut at 64 HRC with a really tall flat grind. So this is should be a really slicey knife. See if I can find something to mix this thing, guys. Really don't need much. I've got a bunch of styrofoam around here, but I'm kind of worried if I put that epoxy in styrofoam, it may eat through it. I don't know its chemical makeup. I don't want to risk that. I mean, I've literally never seen anybody pour epoxy into styrofoam, and that's probably why. There's usually a whole stack of red Solo cups here for the beer pong purposes. But maybe there's not now. Check the garbage, see if anybody's thrown one away. I don't care if it's been drank out of. But I ain't seeing nothing but empty beer cans. Many empty beer cans. That's some redneck shit right there. This trash can is literally full of beer cans and shotgun shells. That's Meathead. Meathead's a big fan of the shotguns. What are you guys talking about down there? Yeah, I'm afraid it will, man. I don't want to take that chance. Hunt's Brothers Pizza, that's right. That would be mine. I don't know that I've ever seen Meathead eat Hunt's Brothers, but I do. Come on, man. All I need is one little plastic cup. Even if I have to clean it. Or even a paint can lid, like a spray paint. That's a good idea. Let me see if I got one of those. Because I only need like an ounce. Nah, that won't work. It's too, not smooth enough inside there. I don't have a whole lot of epoxy stuff to do tonight, so it's not like I need a bunch. I messed up and I left my epoxy mix cups at home. That's my fault. I buy those little those little paper shot glass size cups from Dollar General. That's what I mix my epoxy in. Yeah, and I agree, but it's also more expensive than Little Caesars. You're paying for that, and you have to find like a reputable convenience store to buy it at, because Some folks will leave that shit up there for 7 hours. It's just nasty by the time you get it. But I've got one not too far from me that they take pretty good care of me. Here's a cup. It's the same way. It's not slick on the inside, so I won't be able to stir it correctly. Huh. It's the littlest things, man, that mess me up. You know what would work? I think. And I just saw one. This empty red seal can. Pretty sure they're slick on the inside, so I can stir it good and I can just pour it right out once I get it mixed. Let me go wash it out. That is going to work. Water bottle. I thought about that, Kyle, but you know, they're textured. They're molded on the bottom. And you have to really stir this stuff good in order for it to do everything you want it to do. So I'm just going to clean out this old dip can. Hey, nothing wrong with saving a few bucks. And I've eaten plenty of hot and ready in my lifetime, but I don't necessarily care for them. I mean, it's food, it's fuel, and it tastes better than a lot of other things that cost about that same money, but not my favorite. Just get this dip can rinsed out in here. I'll get that dried up and we'll mix some epoxy in this bad boy. But have you ever had a pepperoni pizza for dinner? Well, yeah, like 5,000 times. Yeah, it's weird. I've tried naming these live streams because you can change the title. And I'll try to think of something creative, you know, something to get people's attention. And they never do well. When I just leave it as, I don't even know what the title says. I think it just says Edgy American is live. I get way more viewership. Yeah, see, that's smooth enough inside that I can get in there and stir the epoxy up good. Let me go get my epoxy equipment. Poor old scale, man, that I pour this on. Look at all the epoxy I've gotten all over this thing. But luckily, you know, you can zero it, so it don't care that it's there. Just you see what I'm doing here. I'm going to pour a small amount of one part into it. I've got to clean up, man. This is ridiculous. And then I'll pour that exact same amount of the other part. It don't take much, because I'm not using much. Done at 0.2 ounces is all I put in there. I'm going to add the exact same amount of part B. There we go, we got epoxy in there now. Both parts. Break out the old purple glow-in-the-dark mica. And these small amounts like this, you can buy like assortments. Guys, it's amazing how cheap this mica powder is. And it's great for all different kinds of crafts. It typically doesn't take much mica powder just to put a color in epoxy, but for the glow in the dark, It seems to take a good deal more to make it actually glow. I didn't think about that. I'm sitting here pouring mica in front of a fan. This stuff's kind of like cinnamon. It's very, very fine. I'm going to put about half this cube, this little. I'm only adding that much because I've done this before. I didn't use very much and it didn't glow at all. So we don't want that. So now I'm going to use this this pen. I'm going to get it all stirred up. This is a very slow acting epoxy. I won't be able to touch this knife again for a couple days. That's okay. I'm going to get these pins poured in it. Really what I should do in situations like this is have multiple knives ready to pour. You know, if I'm going to use the same color, and then I'm not wasting, because I'm going to waste 90% of this. And as you can see, we got a nice, pretty, it's almost the exact same tint of purple. That worked out rather well. Look at that. That was not planned. Just one of those lucky little accidents. So now I've got to pour this into those holes, hopefully without making a huge mess. It's not easy. So now not only do they act as pins, but this structurally connects both scales together on each side of the knife. So it just makes your bond even stronger. So now as you can see, that's all I used. Those two little, I just poured those holes until they're full. We'll go set this over here. Let that cure up. I am going to pour this into a mold and just let it harden. All these little pieces of scale material you see laying around here, like I can chip these up and recast these into a different color and make some pretty interesting looking stuff. So there we go. I just poured that into a silicone mold. I'm not going to leave it over here because of all the dust I'm about to create. I'm just going to move it around and let it, this stuff's auto leveling, so it'll level itself out. We'll leave that be. It'll set up hard in a couple of hours, but it's not actually usable. Like it's not cured enough to do anything to it. It's really the longer you can leave it, the longer you can wait, the better a product you'll make. It's really best to let it cure for a solid week, because I think that's 7 to 10 days is the full cure time. All right, I already don't know what I did with my box of glow-in-the-dark mica powders, but I need to put this up. There it is. I'm going to put this back in the box. Put that up. And we're about to do my favorite thing. We're going to get to grinding. I got some new belts. Supposed to be upgraded belts that I'm itching to use. Man, I've got Magna Cut and S90V shit laying around here everywhere. I've got plenty to grind. So we're gonna swap this belt out with a brand new Norton Blaze 36 grit slap your mama belt and get at it. Most of you guys won't know what I'm talking about when I say this, but Kyle, I got here, I ate on the way here, got here, had to make 3 trips back and forth to the truck, and the door closest to where I park is messed up, so I had to go all the way to the end of the building, 3 trips carrying stuff in and out, and I feel nothing, which is, if you know me really well, you'll know a week ago, just coming into the shop, bringing stuff in like that, I'd already have discomfort in my chest. But yeah, I haven't felt any of that ever since I got back from the hospital. Let's break out these new belts. I like the color. That blaze orange is pretty cool. I've got some Norton razors coming. They're yellow. Man, those belts are like $14 a piece. That's for a tube of 48. I can only imagine what a tube of 72 costs. But I bought a couple just to try out. Now, I could be completely wrong, man. They may be worth every penny. They may do. Apparently, these are non-directional. They do not have a direction arrow on them. We'll get that mounted up. Let's find the blade over here that we need to get ground. We'll do that. There's a thug right there. We need to get at it, so I'll get it mounted up. We'll get to grinding, boys. Yeah, that little mixing that up in that dip can worked out pretty nice. The best thing about it is there's a plethora of those things laying around. It's nice to know I can always count on having a dip can to do that with. And as you see, I've got the blank. This is crew wear, by the way. It's 65 HRC. Got one bolt going through it. Got it clamped to the jig. This jig is set at about 4 to 5 degrees, and we'll get to grinding. I apologize. I again forgot to set my phone to do not disturb, so you're going to get the occasional text message thing and phone call, unfortunately. I can tell I ground the kitchen knife last. See how far up it's heading. We like to do some adjustments to find the angle. One thing I have learned, you cannot skimp on belts, man. The grinding belt, it means everything, literally everything. There's a difference between standing here for 30 minutes grinding a knife or standing here for 3 hours. It's also the difference in how much heat you introduce into the steel and how good the grind looks. So for those of you who watched me before, y'all know damn well we're not that high up the bevel. We're grinding a little flat. I'm constantly adjusting it. That's the downside of going from one blade shape or size to another. If I was smart and professional, once I found my angle that I want to cut my bevel at, I would put my angle meter on it, see what it is, and record that. So when I go back to do this same knife again, I'd already know where my angle needs to be. I actually just thought of that, so I may have to start doing that. That could save me a lot of time. Let me get y'all in a little closer. For anybody who's not normally here, if you have questions, I probably won't see it, but there are several guys in the chat who are here all the time. They can answer most of them. Might have a regrind if the bevels are wonky and probably trim that huge guard. Other than that, pretty vanilla. Like it knows. So far, I'm happy with the way the grind lines look. I know it's really early, but I'm going to mic these. Because it does seem like it's removing metal very fast. Actually, it is. I'm almost done. That's incredible. I did switch belt suppliers. I'd been buying some combat abrasives. I've never had an issue with combat abrasives. I bought these from True Grit. But if what I'm seeing continues, I will never go back. That's unbelievable, man. Let me knock that again. That's crazy. I may have wasted an entire year of my life. I guess not all ceramics are created equally. Alright, we're flipping already. Those of you who've been here several times know that that was absurdly quick. Especially on this hard a piece of crewware. And in the ad, it does say that it was formulated to grind harder super steel. I think it actually called them exotic steels. Alright, let's do the other side. Pretty dry line. Yeah, Kathleen, these are, all these subs are in true wear. This is that back just going to Northern Eyes in Alaska. You mean wait on your Paul, or is I keep going? Whisker Biscuit is a cool name. Thank you, Whisker Biscuit. You can go to my IG and see some of them that have been finished. It's EDGY_American_Blades. Yes, sir, you do, Paul. That's actually why I ordered that glow-in-the-dark mica. So I could glue, I could put glow-in-the-dark pins in yours. I'm anxious to see how that mixture works out. The bad thing is these belts were actually not more than $1, but they were, per belt, they were actually cheaper. As you can see, our bevel almost to the top of the blade, but I want a full flat, so we're going to run it all the way up. I want to take a second look at this belt. I just want to see how it's wearing. It does seem like it's slowed down a little bit, but all belts do. You know, when it's brand new, it definitely cuts at its best. Alright, so it's not worn, but it does have some piling. It's getting some metal in it, so we're going to clean that off. That can contribute to it slowing down too. Like those cubic zirconia belts I use, they never look like they were wearing at all. But like that green color that's on the, hang on, I'll show you. See how shiny green this is? That never changes. And what worries me is I think it's not, because it's not slowly scratching away that surface, it's not exposing you abrasive. So that's why it is a pretty grind. I'll give it that. It makes for some pretty nice grind lines, but it's just very slow. Well, I'll say this, it's slow when it comes to high HRC. Richard, I'm sorry, bud, I can't do that. I know that's aggravating. I don't know how well y'all can hear me. Maybe you were just talking about that little demonstration. I'll do it again. So this is a cubic zirconia belt. This belt's been used a good bit. As you can see, whatever they color that abrasive material with doesn't wear off. And the whole point to ceramics is as you use it, it's constantly scratching the surface away and exposing new abrasive. This never does that, where ceramic does. So that's ceramic, that's cubic zirconia. I'm not a fan of the cubic zirconia. So there. Now I'll get back to grinding. And I've got a new phone too, so I don't know what the audio sounds like yet. You're right, I do need a microphone probably. Gets too hot. Yeah, the cubic kind of seems like it creates a little more heat. Now you see after each pass, I come over and I dip the blade in water. Keep that still cool because it's already heat treated, it's already tempered. That steel gets over like 350 degrees, it'll actually affect my heat treat. Nobody wants that. About 350, the steel turns kind of like a straw color. You see that, you know you've gotten it too hot. Paul, I'm guessing that's because you're used to hearing me talk over the grinder and over the fan. It's not ideal recording conditions. You've been here for it probably 100 times. So as you can see, we're getting really close. So far, these belts are certainly faster. And there was no reason not to use them before. You know, I've seen many a knife maker brag about these Norton blades. I guess I was stubborn. Kathleen, I was thinking the same thing. I will say this, dragging the steel across it, it's a little more body. It doesn't glide as smoothly across it as I'm used to. But, I mean, that just means that it's more abrasive. Like those cubic zirconia belts, man, it just glides across it. They seem to be running cooler. I'm not getting any steam off the belt when I dip it. Well, you know, people have different opinions of using a jig, but if a jig keeps me from making a bad bevel, I don't have an issue with using it. I do agree that freehand is more, it's more old school, I guess you could say. With my disabilities, my nerve damage in my hands, I'm lucky I can grind it off. But if I have to use a jig for that, then so be it. But I kind of look at it like freehand sharpening. You cannot get as perfectly a flat bevel freehanded as you can on a fixed angle. Paul, I was just thinking the same thing. You know, a lot of your old school knife makers they like a convex grind anyway, and that's what you get most of the time with a freehand. Almost there. We're right at it. I don't think we're quite thin enough at the edge yet, so. I'm gonna have to make a little bit of an adjustment. Measure that thickness at the edge, see where we're at. I want to get down to about 10 to 12 thousandths. Yeah, we're at 23. Think about an eighth of a turn and see what we get. I don't feel inferior using a jig though. 95% of production knives are all that material's cut away with a CNC. You know, nobody's grinding it. And it makes sense. CNC's faster, more accurate. will say though, if you start making knives and you use a jig. Oh no, you didn't, man. I understand completely. This topic just came up recently though on the Knife Freak podcast with Jonathan McNeely. And he enjoys freehand grinding. And I wish I had the feeling in my hands to do it as well, but what really matters to me is the finished product. I'm able to accomplish what I set out to do. I'm balding and losing my teeth. I got plenty of things to have accomplished. So using a jig is one of them. Get another measurement. Still a little bit thick. When I say a little bit thick, it's right now at about spider toe thickness, but I also remember a time when people thought using a scope was cheating, so yeah, Paul, I'm kind of trying to teach myself. Like, if you guys noticed the other night when I cleaned up that kitchen knife, I did all that freehand, so I'm trying to add some freehand to it and get better at it, but I'll just be honest with my physical limitations. I don't think I'll ever be able to grind everything freehand. Speaking of which, L-cap I've got, pretty sure I remember correctly, you wanted a kitchen knife with no handles. You wanted to do your own handles. And if that's the case, I've got one already ground, everything right here. So whenever you're ready for that, I've got it. As far as one side of the belt wearing faster, when you're grinding one side of the knife, you're going this direction. You grind the other side, you go that direction. And you always kind of lean in a little heavier right on the edge. And because you're grinding both the same amount on both sides, I've never noticed any uneven wear. A lot of guys that freehand actually use the edge of that platen to try to keep the bevel flat. So they kind of grind at an angle. All they're using is the very edge of the belt. I'll kind of add, sometimes I'll add a couple of degrees of angle to ride off the edge too. Get another measurement. It's looking pretty thin. Now we're at about 15,000. Get that a little thinner. Y'all know when we get down thin like this, we have to be even more careful. Dip more often, apply less pressure. All of that is to keep from adding too much heat. It'd be really easy to cook it now. Jacob, I'm doing 10 of these studs, and yes, they are all spoken for. It's the batch that was ordered by Northern Knives in Alaska. I only have a couple more to finish, and but the tub's not going anywhere. I'll probably always make it. Yeah, short answer, yes, these are spoken for. The only knives I have coming up pretty soon that are still available for purchase, some of them are already purchased, but you know, there's the fret designed by Javon's Knife Flick. There's still a couple of these available. And then there's, I hate showing this unground, but there's the Forest fixed blade designed by Dylan Mallory. So these are getting spoke for pretty fast. We'd only plan to do 5 of them. I got one over here ground. I forgot about that. But I'm pretty sure we're going to have to make another batch because that first 5's already pretty much gone. But I ordered more steel for them, so you know, I don't have a bunch of operating capital, so I kind of have to order stuff as I sell stuff. Man, it's still not cheap, and it just keeps getting higher. Getting very close. That's where we're going to stop at, right there. 11,000. That can make a very classy blade. I like switching up which knives I'm grinding when I go live. I mean, it probably doesn't matter to you guys, but for some reason I think it makes it more interesting. But the problem with that is I'm constantly having to adjust my angles when I go from one design to another, and I really need to get these knocked out, so I'm going to continue on with these thugs till they're done. I'll have these pretty good. Looks like I've got 3 more to be finished with that batch. We're just going to head and get these. This is the true test here. How does this belt do on the second knife? Does it continue cutting fast? We will find out. I did order enough though where I'm prepared to change belts every knife. I don't have an issue with doing that if I need to. Right now I'm just going to see what this belt does. Now that we've done 2 bevels with it. I mean, I'm around that belt right there. It's got a lot of life left in it as far as just removing metal. The question is it still good enough to grind bevels? So far, it still feels really aggressive. Yeah, Paul, I'm really liking Dylan's knife too. I'm looking forward to getting those done, because once I get those done, then I can start on Cheeto's Nick Burton's mouth. He did finally name it, and I apologize, guys. I had forgotten what he named it. But it's a Latin word for trout. Seems like it's still cutting pretty good, guys. Belts definitely don't heat up as fast, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, Kathleen, I've sold more thugs than I have anything. Anything caught it at this point. Probably the second place is kitchen knives, but my favorite knife that I make, and it doesn't sell well, and that's okay. I understand why, but is my heathen. But this is like a large tactical battle knife, outdoors survival knife type thing. And not everybody needs a knife like that. I get it. That's my favorite one. However, I probably wouldn't carry a heathen around all day, every day either. It's a little aggressive to just, you know, to wear to church. But that makes sense because the mindset I had was I wanted to design a knife if I had to go back to the military and back to battle, what would I want on my hip? And that's what I came up with. Now, if I had to cut a string off my granddaughter's dress on Easter Sunday, that's not what I'd want to whip out to do that with. I say that about the kitchen knives being second. The fret could actually pass up kitchen knives pretty quick. I just got to get these done so I can get more frets done and get them out there. As you can see, it's still cutting pretty dang quick. For those of you who wasn't here, that is a Norton Blade 36 grit ceramic auger. And I ain't kidding, that hawks it off. Like I said, Witchers, you can go to Instagram if you have it and search for EDGY, EDGY _American _blades. That's where you can get in touch with me and you can see a bunch of my, you know, my finished products. Or if you don't have Instagram, you can message me on YouTube. Like after the live stream, you can go in and leave a comment, but it takes me a little longer to check those. I didn't think to watch my time. But guys, I got that first stud completely ground in under an hour. And I'll take that. I'll take that all day. I can only imagine how fast this stuff will grind some Micro Z. Looking to see if I can find Cheetos. Cheetos bird and trout model. I'm not exactly sure where I put it at the moment. They haven't even been heat treated yet. I'm gonna measure this just out of curiosity. Yeah, that's about right. Only one in the notes I know if I've got my angle about where I want it. I feel like the belt's loading up a little bit. If you just joined, in case you wonder what we're doing, we are grinding the primary bevels on some fixed blade knives. These are not basic carbon steel. These knives are made from CPM screw wear, heat treated to about 65 HRC. What I like to refer to as a performance steel. High edge retention, high toughness. I really don't think this belt has lost its stuff yet. Kind of makes me wonder how much better those Norton razors could be. I should be finding out in the next few days. They should be delivered any day now. Alright, let's see if we're ready to flip it. $80,000. We got a little bit more to, just a little more to take off. That's correct, Kathleen. Jacob, I can make anything up to about 12 inches. I can make stuff bigger than that. It just takes a little longer because I have to ship it to Brian Kim at Transparent Knives to have it heat treated. My heat treat oven is only 13 inches deep. And you want a little air gap around both ends. What grit? This is a, I'm sorry, 171 Racing. This is a Norton Blades 36 grit ceramic hogger. I've got in some really hard CPM 2 wear. Alright, we're ready to flip it over and do the other side. That took about a half hour to do one bevel. I'm not unhappy with that. We're starting fresh on this side. First pass. 171 Racing, I don't hardly ever use any carbon steel. I use mostly CPM, you know, the through wear and Magnecut. Take a look at this belt. I want to see how it's wearing. Yeah, it's loading up a little bit, but I can see fresh pieces of ceramic in there. Those dark spots you're seeing, that is steel. I just cleaned it, but I'm gonna wipe it one more time. Oh, I hit it with the rubber. Feels like it might be slowing down a little bit. Well, maybe it just needed cleaning. it's definitely losing its bite. We'll stick a new one on there. We got 3 bevels out of it. Oh, some hard-ass crew wear. I ain't complaining. Like I said, this belt is still good. I can shape dives with it, sharpen lawnmower blades, whatever. It's just not performing like I want it to for cutting bevels. Let's grab another one. Like a high roller right now, I got all these belts. What's up, Tito? Yeah, that's definitely better. Definitely more aggressive. I don't know if you guys can see the difference in how intense the spark pattern is. But I can. What's up, Mr. Upchurch? You know, it's weird to me, guys, in the nice YouTube community. Saturday night used to be a pretty desirable time slot. And now, I don't know who goes live on Saturday nights anymore, if anybody. But I remember a time when you had to kind of jump around from one channel to another. In case you don't know what you're looking at, that dark spot there is the part we haven't ground yet. We're grinding this at about a 4-degree angle, so that bevel is slowly climbing up the blade. Once this disappears, that center should be the desired thickness we're looking for, which is about 10 thousandths of an inch. Should make it very classy. Yeah, I forgot about G-ball, Kathleen. And there's people you meet online that when you meet them in person, either your impression changes or you like them a little less, whatever. But G-Ball's one of them people that I like a lot more since I've met him. Him and Mrs. G-Ball are both awesome people. We're gonna take a break for a second. I gotta grab a drink of water. Give me a fresh dip, keep that nicotine level up. Eagle Scout, I don't know who that is. And Urban. You talking about Urban Woodsman? I didn't even know he went live. Urban is that's a peculiar individual when you meet him in person. Not saying anything bad, he's just, I don't know, he's just different. Turban boobsman, yeah. Doc wants me to lose 30 pounds. I started back on my Ozempic. I've been consuming little to no sugar at all. I only eat carbs when it's something I really want. And I've already lost 7 pounds in 7 days. Of course, I'm sure that 2-day hospital stay. I always lose weight when I'm in the hospital. My water jug filled back up. What is Eagle Scout? Is it Eagle Scout EDC? Is that a knife channel or I'm not familiar. Get my trusty old Dr. Thunder bottle filled back up. Me, it keeps waters in the refrigerator, but I've just never understood wasting my money on bottled water. Our local water authority gets their water from the Cuyahoga Springs tap line. There's a big pipe at Cuyahoga Springs that supplies our local drinking water, and at least 10 different bottled water companies are pulling up there, filling up all the time. So, and we literally have the same water that you're paying for in the faucet. Well, I guess I'm sure our water authority's probably adding fluoride or whatever to it. Some people don't like that. There's that epoxy for you, those of you who were here. It's kind of hardened. I wish I had a flashlight. We would see how this glows. see if I can find one. If that rings again, guys, I'm gonna have to go. I'll come back, but man, I don't know where there's a flashlight at. I don't know if just ambient light is enough to make it glow. You can stick out here in the dark and see if it's glowing at all. Alright, so that's not glowing at all. Not even a little. So those pins may just be purple. They may not glow after all. You know what, guys? I'm starting to feel bad about ignoring that call. I need to get that. I'm sorry. I'm going to end this right quick and go call him back. I apologize. That's my grandson. So I don't want to ignore his phone call. I will come back. So just watch for me. Next 5-10 minutes, I should be back on. But yeah, I'll see you guys shortly. Well,